incriminating connection to this Sacramento murder, and how police finally got a suspect. Getting to a broken canal and fixing it. The plan, how long it'll take, and how many millions of dollars is being lost on clouds not getting its water. This was my very first one.
He does more than just reading articles in Time magazine. How one local man gets the covers signed by famous people from all over the world.
The KCRA 319, tonight at 10 and 11.
Mommy, Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser is the only major U.S. spring water bottled exclusively at the source.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser, please.
Crystal Geyser is the only major U.S. spring water bottled exclusively at the source.
Why the homeless are suing the city of Sacramento at 11.
We've waited for 4 years. Now the Chuck and Sarah wedding is almost here. But one detail is missing.
Your mom might not be able to make it. Why? What happened? She's been taken.
New Chuck, Monday, 8/7 Central on NBC. The biggest talent competition on the planet is back. For the final season finale, we shall never really know what's going to happen next. Wow. America's Got Talent return May 31st on NBC.
What was the toughest thing you had to surmount?
We had a lovely 24-year-old woman who was dead, and no one could explain why.
The defense wasn't going to be able to tell the jury what caused Sarah Whitmer to drown that night. But they were going to show that Ryan Whitmer had no reason to hurt his wife. And as far as damp hair, dry body, they'd explain it. The bottom line for the defense.
I know one thing. Ryan Whitmer had nothing to do with his wife's death.
Charlie Rickers, Ryan Whitmer's defense attorney, argued that his client was played from the get-go by his unhappy choice of words on that 911 call.
Electing to say she fell asleep in the tub. Sets the alarms going.
Exactly.
In other words, had Ryan told the 911 dispatcher only that his wife was unconscious, it wouldn't have been so suspicious.
The only thing Ryan knows is she fell asleep in the tub. But they jump on that and say he's a liar.
The defense attorney argued the coroner had been all too quick to rule the death a homicide.
He had no idea she had unusual sleep habits. He had no idea that she was suffering from a headache that day.
Remember, an expert witness for the prosecution had said it would have been impossible for Sarah to fall asleep and die in the tub. But those who knew her sleep habits said it may have been a sign of an undiagnosed underlying medical condition. Sarah's boss, the dentist, testified that her quirky sleep habits were well known around the office.
She would normally grab a quick lunch and then go out to her car and take a nap for 30 or 45 minutes or not, because people don't generally do that.
And the dentist recollected that Sarah hadn't been feeling well on that last day of her life.
She had a sore throat. Her stomach had been bothering her earlier in the day.
She was still feeling crummy later that evening when she spoke to a friend.
She had a headache, and the back of her neck was hurting. I mean, she sounded tired, and, she didn't sound like she felt very good.
Sarah turning off the day and retreating to her bathtub, that sounded just like the Sarah they knew.
She would always leave our house and say she had to get home because she had to take her bath.
And Sarah dozing off in the tub was a trait a friend from childhood days was very familiar with.
She had fallen asleep in the bathtub before. We had talked about that because I had fallen asleep in the bathtub before, too.
The sleeping habits, the headaches. The defense claimed they could very well have been the symptoms of an underlying and potentially fatal condition that went undetected. Something an otherwise healthy young woman wouldn't take all that seriously. And even with all their scientific art, argued the defense, some person died. The doctor who specializes in emergency medicine testified that unexplained deaths occur far more often than many of us would guess.
Nationwide, there are approximately 300,000 episodes of sudden death per year. And of those episodes of sudden death, 1 to 2% occur in young people. But 1/3 of those young people that die have normal autopsies.
In other words, people sometimes just die, and their autopsies may never reveal the cause. But the issue that might decide the case was the observation by the arriving officers and EMTs of damp hair and dry body. What looked suspicious was easily explainable, said the defense. Hair simply stays wet longer.
To get out of a swimming pool or a bathtub, skin dries before their hair.
Yes, the defense told the court you have to look at the clock, the elapsed time of the incident. The defense claimed that Sarah's body dried off in the time between Ryan first speaking to the 911 dispatcher and when the police officer arrived. And what about the fingers and toes that should have been pruned up but weren't? Well, no one knows what time Sarah got into the tub.
We don't know if she was printing in front of the mirror. We don't know yet, so.
And by the way, suggested the defense, you can't have it both ways with the dry bathroom theory. If Ryan had killed Sarah in the small bathroom, there also should have been water splashed everywhere.
If there was violent struggle, then there would be water on the floor, on the counter, on the walls, everywhere. And if they want to claim that it was a staged scene where he cleaned up the water, well, where's the wet towel?
And investigators looked for wet towels in the dryer, even in the garage. Nothing. And say for argument's sake, there had been a struggle. You'd think Ryan would have gotten scratched up as Sarah fought for her life. But Ryan didn't have a mark on him. How would Sarah have reacted if she were being attacked?
Sarah was a very spunky person, and she was small in stature, probably 5'1". I think she weighed around 140 pounds, but she wasn't frail by any stretch of the imagination. She was a strong girl.
So she would have gone for her attacker.
I full-heartedly believe, yes.
And Sarah's French manicure was in pristine condition when the EMTs found her. No sign of a fight.
There was absolutely no damage to the nails.
She had beautiful French manicured nails. None of them were damaged at all. She didn't have skin from Ryan underneath her.
And the very notion of Ryan attacking Sarah is preposterous, say their friends.
Ryan's a lot like my husband, Chris. In the aspect of, when there's an argument, Chris just says, okay, what can we do to fix it, and let's move on. And that's kind of how Ryan was.
And as far as accounting for the bruising noted to her neck and scalp, to the defense, they were certainly caused by the EMTs working on Sarah.
How about 45 minutes of resuscitation efforts? Not 5, not 10, 45 minutes.
It looked perfectly consistent to this emergency room doctor, an expert for the defense.
I was not surprised at the injuries at all based on the prolonged CPR and